Boasting simply comes down to this: to trust in oneself or to brag about one's ability, to exalt one's self, typically where effort and achievement collide, instead of acknowledging total dependence on God and His power, His Spirit, that has enabled us to be able to achieve what we have achieved. If we are justified, dear sister, dear brother, if we are justified, that is being declared right and being declared clean with God, and it is based on our faith only and not based on our works, then why are we boasting? We shouldn't even boast. For the believer who has been saved by grace through faith, there is nothing to boast about ourselves. Boasting that is directed towards ourselves is a fruit of pride. God opposes the proud, but then He gives to the humble. He uplifts the humble. In episode 173, we discussed 5 relational factors that keep a believer estranged from God, which would include pride, money, sex, power, and desires. The last 4 on the list, money, sex, power, and desires, are derivatives of the first one, pride. In 1 John chapter 2, verse 16, we are introduced to the 3 core areas of our worldly temptations. The scripture reads, "For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life," these 3, "is not of the Father, but is of the world." These are the sinful physical cravings we indulge our minds and hearts and bodies in. The excessive desire for what we see, which leads to covetousness, envy, jealousy, greed, and the arrogant pride in our resources or statuses that we boast about. We boast about our achievements. We boast about our successes. It is all over us. I have fallen to these temptations many times before, in thought and in deed. You see, the world systems make these temptations seem okay and so desirable to partake in. But one thing I have learned about human behavior is that we often find it difficult to control our appetite when something feels good. You can attest to this. Good music, you can attest to this. People, we indulge, we engage, we consume in excess. Anything consumed in excess can become sin. The motive of our excessive consumption and indulgence is self. The underlying motive of our excessive consumption and indulgence is self. In other words, we are greedy. This goes in so many directions. When you talk about money, greed. When you talk about self-pleasure, sex, greed. When people are acting in ways that causes you to kind of pause. When I am acting in ways that causes me to pause, I got to know that the underlying motive is me trying to just fulfill my own desires. Just look on social media and what is shared, what the algorithms are feeding our timelines. Just look on LinkedIn and how we share our achievements. Just look at families and how the successes of family members are celebrated, especially that of children. Just look in churches, corporations, government, and the list goes on and on. The key is how you are celebrating, how you are talking about those achievements, and who is getting the glory at the end of the day. Is it pointing to self, or is it pointing to the Creator, whom you are absolutely, totally dependent on? The temptations of lust of the flesh, which is physical cravings, lust of the eyes, which is excessive desire for what we see, pride of life, which is all about boasting, are everywhere around us. And we have been brainwashed in our Christian faith to believe in a theology that says our works earn us a seat with God. Our works make us right with God. Our works of doing good earns us a seat in God's kingdom. Being a good person earns us a seat in heaven. What a lie. So because of that, in our Christian circles, all we do is boast and we forget to remember, we forget to remember the one who gave it and made it possible. Jesus, who is the way, is the truth, and is the life.